Sometimes when you have an old trailer like this, you need to make upgrades. Today we're going to be upgrading the electric tongue jack. Stay tuned. So hi, in today's video, we're going to take this old trailer and we're going to make an upgrade to it. We're going to add an electric tongue jack. Hi, if we haven't met yet, I'm John with Let's Go Now Adventures, and our YouTube channel is all about camping. We create videos so that you can have a better camping experience. So when you make an upgrade on a really old trailer like this one, you really have to consider the cost versus the benefits. You know, you don't want to pour a lot of money into an old trailer like this. So we started to look into the electric tongue jacks, and on one hand, the cheapest ones were $150 or so, and it ranged up all the way to $600. And I went, wow, that's a wide range for the same thing. To do the same thing, to push a button and let your tongue go up. So I started to look into it and did some research, and there were a couple of qualities that were very important to me. First, it had to be powerful. It had to have enough power to do its job. Second thing is I would really like to have a light that when we pull into a campsite, sometimes as late as 10 o'clock at night and it's dark, any extra light when you're out camping is certainly helpful. I wanted to make sure the construction was good. And one of the things about the construction of an electric jack is some are made with plastic gears and some are made with steel gears. I had to have one that had the steel gears. It needed to be made well enough to last the test of time. The other is that I needed to have be able to manually crank up and down the jack. So the last thing that was important to me is that I didn't want to have to spend a lot of money to put a very expensive tongue jack on this old trailer. So after a bunch of research, I came up with one that ended up being on the lower end of the scale, which fit my needs, and that's this one. It's the Ram EJ-3520. This met all the criteria that I needed in that it was a good, inexpensive one, but was powerful enough to do what I needed it to do. It did have a light. The construction was good and had great reviews on how well it was built. It does have those stainless steel gears that I was talking about, or solid steel gears, I'm sorry. And it does have a light on it. So in today's video, what I'd really like to do is show you just how easy it is to install this tongue jack. I mean, you can really do it. I think we'll probably need a socket wrench and a little bit, we're going to do a little work with wire, a good stripper and cutter, and probably a little ring connector so that you can hook it to your battery. That's really going to be it. So let's do it. So what we're going to be doing is I'm going to loosen these and we'll take these bolts out. Now with this jack, we want to make sure we save these bolts because we'll be repurposing them and putting these bolts back in. Now I'll just take those the rest of the way out. So it's not too heavy, 15, 20 pounds tops. And it looks like they gave us washers, but not the bolts. So we can get rid of the washers, but we're going to be using the same bolts. And this is the power cord. And from what I read from the instructions, this cord is the positive, and this is self-grounded. That's one of the reasons why these washers is to go through the paint. So we have the positive, and then it's going to self-ground. The foot that comes off the bottom. So we'll take that pin out. And we'll leave that there for just a second. And let's get this wire. Just make sure that I'm lined up as best I can. So let's go ahead and put those in. 2 and 3. Now one thing with this is you'll probably want to use a little bit of Loctite or something like that. As with any plate tightening, you're going to want to just kind of bounce and cycle through and tighten a little bit more each time. So I've got my torque wrench set for 20. And that one's clipped. So now we're going to run the wire. I'm going to go down through under the propane. So first thing I'm going to do is disconnect the battery. Anytime you're working with the battery, you want to disconnect the battery so that we don't accidentally short. There's a lot of power stored in these batteries. So at this point you want to make sure you use caution. Okay. So now the last step is you don't want to travel with this in, but you do want to put it in when you get there. So let's say you pull up to your campsite. You take the foot plate, and there's the grooves towards the back. So you just slide it up in there, and you slide this pin through, lock it into place, and we continue our journey. Seems a bit slow, but every second I'm watching it go down is 1 second I'm not cranking that crank, so I can live with that. So thank you for taking the time to watch as we installed the Ram 3520 electric tongue jack. Here we go. Here's a little light. You probably can't see it at all today because the sun's shining so bright. And that heavy trailer, that 10,000 pounds behind me, is going up and going down. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video and you found the content valuable, please give me a big thumbs up. That really does help it so that Let's Go Now Adventures video are seen by more people. Also, if you wouldn't mind, hit the subscribe button and the little bell that's right next to it so that you're subscribed to our channel and you'll be notified when we release other camping related videos. From Let's Go Now Adventures, I'm John, and I'll see you on the next adventure.